You've probably at some point heard the saying that if you were as wrong at your job as the weatherman is, you wouldn't have a job anymore. And I do agree, there is some truth to that. It is very difficult to always be right when it comes to the weather. But don't blame your local TV meteorologist or your favorite internet meteorologist. And by meteorologist, I'm not including myself in that group. I am not a meteorologist. I'll be the first to tell you that. But I do want to just kind of peel back the onion a little bit and explain that really the whole weather industry is looking at the same models. And there are a lot of them, and some meteorologists probably spend a whole lot more time looking at them than others. I've heard that some stations, the meteorologists don't even do their own forecast. They hire a company and they just essentially relay that information. That's really not unlike what I do. I'm looking at a select number of models, sharing the ones I think could be true, that do come to fruition, and often I'm just relaying what the National Weather Service is forecasting. So the whole point of this channel and a lot of channels and TV stations, they might tell you otherwise in their marketing, but it's not necessarily to be the most accurate. It's to prepare you for what may come. Weather can be a dangerous thing. It might have a lot to do with your livelihood, getting your kids to school, whatever the case. We just want to prepare you for possible eventualities and really honestly hope for the best. We don't want storm after storm to wreak havoc on our lives. No one wants that. As a storm chaser, sure, I like to go out and see tornadoes, but I'd rather see them, in the open plains and not cause any damage or harm to life. It's just the way it is. But I just want to show you a look back. This was a GFS model on Saturday for the coming storm that was supposed to happen. Didn't really come to fruition here in southern Iowa. It was predicting upwards of almost 2 inches in Des Moines, closer to the Missouri border, 7 to 8 inches, and in Maryville, 10.5. I showed you an ensemble that combined 22 different models with the idea that an average would give you a more accurate picture. Again, showing snow here in Des Moines, southern Iowa between 6 and 10 inches, almost a foot in Maryville. But this is what actually happened. Iowa pretty much got nothing. Right along the border, 2 to 3 inches, and that was the max. Most of the state, barely a flurry. Maryville, even at 6 inches, was half of what most of the models were showing. In Lamoni, the National Weather Service, as of midday Saturday, they were saying 8 to 12 inches. And again, they ended up with 2, maybe 3. So I just want to reiterate the point of weather forecasting and presentation is just to prepare you. And hopefully you can appreciate that and not get upset when things don't go as forecasted. And with winter weather, it's especially difficult, even a day in advance. Severe weather is difficult, sometimes even 6 hours in advance. It's just the nature of where we are, and, maybe 10, 15 years from now, with AI and advancements in technology, and if we can get more data sets, higher resolution, more, I guess, close range local measurements, maybe these do become even more accurate and can be even more reliable. So this was kind of a unique storm. Just a little track north or south was going to make a big difference. And I made sure to point that out in the last few videos. And yeah, I got it wrong. You're not going to see many TV stations or YouTube channels come back and say, yeah, they got it wrong. So anyway, looking ahead for your week here, and it's pretty boring actually. January, we could definitely be expecting a lot worse, but we're going to be dominated by high pressure. We might have a little clipper bring a skiff of snow here on Friday. Temperatures are going to be pretty warm that day, so maybe not. We'll have to see. That's a little ways out. Speaking of temperatures, this is your temperature anomaly at the surface, and really through Thursday it's going to be below average, and then Friday and Saturday will tick back up above average. I don't know if I'd call it a thaw yet, but it'll at least be a lot more pleasant to be outside compared to these teens and single digits that we're dealing with right now. In fact, here is your forecasted highs for Friday, something you can look forward to at the end of the week. Generally above freezing for most all the entire state, so that will be nice. Climate Prediction Center, we're going to look a little further ahead into next week, 12th through the 16th, and really Iowa, looking at near average chances of either below or above temperatures. So I guess you could equate that to just an average January. And really the same goes for precipitation. Maybe a little bit higher chance there in the northwest part of the state. So anyway, this is kind of a recap of the storm that wasn't for the state of Iowa for your yesterday, Sunday, and a look here at the coming week. As we leave, I do want to give a shout out to one special viewer who's been with us really from the very beginning. His name is Casey, and he lives in Granger, Iowa. And this is the Weathershed, so I figured I'd give Casey the honorary designation of the Tool of the Week here in the Weathershed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.